Hey guys, it's your boy, the boy with wave here, and welcome to this versus battle. And today it is Chrollo versus Feitan. Oof, this is gonna be tough. First of all, I will explain Chrollo's abilities, what he can bring to the table, and I'll explain Feitan's abilities and what he can bring to the table. And I'll go through the fight, how it will go down if they fight like seriously. And here I will break it down into two categories. The first case is without Pain Packer and the second case is with Pain Packer. Okay, and without further ado, let's get into Chrollo. So the moves that matter in this video are Sun and Moon, Fun Cloth, which is stole from Owl, from the Shadow Beast, Indofish. I don't know how, but lots of people have forgotten that Chrollo has Indofish. I don't know how. And also this teleportation ability that Chrollo used only one time against Nobunaga, the York New Arc. And because this is a one-on-one match, he wouldn't use Convert Hands because there wouldn't be a point of using that because he's the only one there. So Feitan would know immediately that this person is Chrollo. So he wouldn't use that. And I just took out Black Voice and Gallery Fake as well because they weren't stolen abilities. Chrollo just borrowed them from Feitan and Kotobi. When it comes to Feitan is a good Nen user. I would say that he's in the top 5 strongest members in the Phantom Troupe. And his biggest move is the Pain Packer. Yeah, so that's all you have to know about Feitan. And let's get into the fight. So the first case is without Pain Packer. This is really a downside to Feitan because he can't really control Pain Packer. He can't start with the Pain Packer because Pain Packer comes when Feitan gets angry, when Feitan gets pissed. So Pain Packer comes next after he gets pissed. And let's talk about what would happen without Pain Packer. This looks really bad for Feitan. I mean, Feitan will get bodied by Chrollo in this scenario. Let me explain here. First of all, what can Feitan do? Let me just power scale for a minute. I won't normally do this, but I think this is a good reasonable power scale. I mean, you all remember Sasan, right? Sasan, the queen, she was kind of overpowering Feitan before Feitan used the Pain Packer. That was really surprising because I thought that Feitan would just walk over Sasan, but that didn't happen. Sasan was good. And Leol, Cheetu, they are not weaker than Sasan. You could say that they are on the same level as Sasan because they are all squadron leaders. But Leol and Cheetu got another power boost from Shayapuf. So you can't really argue that those two are below Sasan's level. Those two are on par with Sasan or else better than Sasan. But anyways, let's say that those two are in par with Sasan, right? And let's take Senor Soldic. Senor Soldic is way stronger than Cheetu and Leol. I mean, everyone can agree with that. I don't think that anyone would argue with me if I say that Senor Soldic is greater than Cheetu, right? And now let's come to Chrollo. Remember when Chrollo and Senor Soldic fought? Then Chrollo asked Senor what would happen if they fought like seriously. Then Senor told that if they fought seriously, it would be a different story because Chrollo fought the entire time trying to catch Senor Soldic so that he can steal that ability. So if Chrollo fought to kill Senor Soldic, I think that Chrollo would have done it. I mean, Senor Soldic and Silver Soldic fought Chrollo together and Chrollo was fine. Chrollo didn't get hurt badly. I mean, he was fighting defensively. Like I said earlier, he fought to capture Senor and Silver Soldic, but he couldn't do it. If we take one-on-one, I would say that Chrollo is slightly better than Senor Soldic. I'm not saying that he's way stronger than Senor Soldic. He might be a bit stronger than Senor Soldic. So that means, I mean, in a one-on-one fight, Chrollo is really bodying Feitan. Feitan has no chance whatsoever with hand-to-hand and reflexes. Because that's all Feitan has. He has a sword and that's all he has. But this may actually help Feitan to achieve Pain Packer, which I'll go over next. But the next question is, will Feitan get mad when he gets beaten up by Chrollo? I mean, when he fought against Sasan, even though that Feitan was kind of getting ripped, Feitan was chilled, Feitan was like fighting cheerfully. And only when Finks made a joke about him, saying that if he wanted to switch places with Finks, only after that Feitan got pissed and destroyed everyone. So the question is whether Feitan will get mad when he's fighting Chrollo. He could just enjoy the fight without getting mad. If that happens, Pain Packer wouldn't activate. But let's not talk about that. Let's say that he activates Pain Packer. This is really interesting because Chrollo has nothing to block that. He might have some abilities because we don't know his entire book. We have only seen like 5 or 6 abilities. So you could argue that Chrollo might have something big enough to block Pain Packer. But I won't do that because I don't know what he has. So we'll say that Chrollo doesn't have anything to block Pain Packer. But there's this one thing that he can do. He can teleport. Remember, that's what I said earlier. He teleported Nobunaga. So maybe he can teleport objects as well. If he can teleport objects, he can probably teleport the sun itself to somewhere else. If he does that, then Feitan is screwed. Feitan can't do anything else after that. Then Chrollo will definitely destroy Feitan after that. That's only if Chrollo can teleport objects as well. But let's just say Chrollo can only teleport people. So then Chrollo will try to teleport Feitan. He will. I don't know whether he can teleport Feitan to a long distance or if it's only like a short distance. But even if Chrollo teleports Feitan, I don't think that the sun will teleport with Feitan. The sun will stay there. So even if Chrollo does that, Chrollo will still get hit by the sun and Chrollo will die. So that's the only thing that I can think of that Chrollo can do in this scenario. So I'll say that Chrollo loses here. But I won't say that Chrollo loses here 100%. I mean, he has shown us something that he can use in this situation. But anyways, Chrollo loses here. But the next question is, will it even come to that point? Will it even come to Pain Packer? Or will Chrollo just kill Feitan before Feitan activates Pain Packer? That's the real question. Because I told you earlier, in this scenario, in this fight, those two are fighting to kill. And Feitan is a close range fighter. It's really hard to fight Chrollo close combat. Because Chrollo has the fun cloth. I mean, when Chrollo has that, when someone comes close to Chrollo, Chrollo can just trap that person. That's why Silver Soldic, like, he did a long range attack. He summoned the dragon and let the dragon fight Chrollo. And the dragon pinned Chrollo down. After that only Silver Soldic attacked Chrollo. But unfortunately Feitan doesn't have any long range attacks. So if he fights close range with Chrollo, Chrollo will definitely trap Feitan, 100% sure. And I did even mention Black Voice here because I told earlier that he borrowed Black Voice, he didn't steal Black Voice. He wanted to give Black Voice back to Shalna. But if he had Black Voice here, that would be more troublesome for Feitan because then Chrollo only has to stab Feitan and that's game over. I mean, Chrollo even managed to hit Silver Soldic with his knife. So if he can do that to Silver Soldic while fighting Senor Soldic at the same time, then he'll definitely do that to Feitan. You can't argue that Feitan would win in this scenario. And I mentioned earlier that this would be a one-on-one fight with no other people, so he can't do the same shit that he did against Hisoka. I mean, I'm actually nerfing Chrollo pretty bad here. I'm trying to give Feitan some points by nerfing Chrollo here, but Feitan would still lose in lots of scenarios, and especially if they fight in a closed room. Then Chrollo can activate Indofish, and if he does that, that's like game over. Because I can imagine only emitter attacks can destroy this Indofish, and Feitan doesn't have any emitter attacks, he's just a close range fighter with a sword. And especially, Chrollo can just use Indofish and place a bookmark there and turn to Fun Cloth and take a cloth out. If he does that, Chrollo can just fight Feitan with the cloth while the Indofish just eats Feitan from behind. There's actually no chance for Feitan to win if they fight in a closed room. It really looks bad here for Feitan. I'm really sorry because I like Feitan, but Feitan can't really do anything in a closed room because Indofish is really OP. So there's a very good chance that Chrollo might end up killing Feitan before Feitan even comes up with his Pain Packer. Because if Chrollo starts with Indofish, then it's pretty much GG for Feitan. So let's wrap this up and see what we have here. So without Pain Packer, Chrollo Lucifer will win 100%. I'm absolutely sure, and you really can't argue that Feitan could win without Pain Packer here. And with Pain Packer, Chrollo still has some abilities to avoid Pain Packer, but I'm not sure. But I'll still give 70% to Feitan, and that's also being kind of generous. So I'll say 70% of the time Feitan would win against Chrollo with Pain Packer. That's actually kind of being generous, but anyways. So overall, I would say that Chrollo takes the W here with lower difficulty. So guys, that's it for the video. If you have any versus battles in mind, comment down below. I really like making these types of videos here. Please make sure to like, share and subscribe these videos. And don't forget to press that notification bell to get all the fresh uploads right on time. This is the boy with the and I will see you soon.